Welcome back, Shalloners. Well, today we're going to talk about something that a lot of us deal with to varying degrees and talk about one person who's dealing with it to an extreme degree. Celebrity worship. Now, it's natural for us as human beings to pick sort of like an icon, an idol, and really stand for them. You know, this is a way that we as human beings can explore different sides of our personalities, try on sort of a different persona, and like I've told you in my videos on how to be confident, sort of like try on their confidence when we're in a risky social situation. I'm going to pretend to be the Kourtney Kardashian. I'm going to embody the Rihanna as I walk into this party. But sometimes things can take on a life of their own and you end up with somebody like Paige Nyman. Now, she is a girl on TikTok who's going viral because of how much she looks like Ariana Grande. Like, a lot like Ariana Grande. Like, literally, you kind of can't tell them apart. We're going to talk about how this kind of doppelganger dumb happens and what we can learn from it, and more importantly, how we can stop obsessing over a celebrity that might be on our mind and really be happy inside of our own lives, because yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. But first, just want to remind you guys that if you have a love question for me or a question about any little thing and want a one-on-one session, find me on my website, shallonlester.com, where you can also take some fun quizzes and shop some merch. Also, please donate to the GoFundMe I've set up for Miss Sherry Lewis. She is a homeless mom of 3 living in Atlanta. So far, we've raised enough money to keep her housed through December in the motel she's living at, but we are really working to raise $4,000 to get her into some permanent housing. Like, we can break the generational poverty that her family has experienced, and we can change the lives, not only for her children, for their children, for generations to come. And it wouldn't be too much hardship for us to donate. Even $5, it adds up, it makes a difference. Please consider donating. It's a really good cause, and 100% of the money goes to her, like 100%. Okay, let's talk about Paige. Oh, follow me on Instagram too, ShallonXO. Because I let you guys weigh in on the video topics, and you guys were tagging me in this and telling me about this, and I was like, oh my God, this is wild, we have to cover it. So, Paige, I don't know if I'm saying her last name or if it's Neiman or Nyman. It doesn't matter. I don't think she wants to be called Paige. She wants to be called Ariana. So this girl is on TikTok. It is wild to me how much she looks like her. And like, I worked in celebrity journalism forever, and people be like, I'm a doppelganger. It's like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, I looked at celebrities all day long. Like, I know what they look like. I would not be able to tell. This is crazy. She might be like editing her photos a little. Still, it's obvious that this girl is just a stan above all stands. Like, she has studied Ariana. There's even a picture of Paige like in her childhood bedroom, like from before she started this TikTok, like before, when she still looked like kind of her own person and not like somebody else. And it's covered in Ariana Grande posters. I mean, covered. Yikes. Yikes. And so on her TikTok, she dresses as like, you know, current Ariana, but does monologues like as Kat from Victorious. She like mouths along to the monologues. When I watched Victorious like once or twice, I literally thought Kat was supposed to have had a head injury. Is she not? Is she supposed to be like simple Kat? I don't know. It was a very weird show. I was like, what is this? It's like how when I watched Crisley Knows Best, I watched it for a full season before someone told me that the premise is not a straight woman married a gay man and they have a platonic marriage. I literally thought that was it. And I was like, how progressive. Or not progressive, like how backwards, like it was something. I had no idea that was, okay. Anyway, so Ariana has even weighed in on this, and she seems to be hugely fucking creeped out, just hugely creeped out. She's like, oh, I'm sure she's, okay, she said, okay, wait, what did she say? I just wonder why the cat voice / dialogue, this is what Ariana tweeted. I am sure she is the sweetest sweetheart for real, but it's definitely bizarre seeing people blend the two worlds. LMAO. I hate LMAO. Let my ass off. I hate it. I think it's trashy. Don't use it. Just acronyms in general. LOL, BRB. Just cut it out. What do you do with all that time that you saved? Did you book a trip to Italy? Wow. Have you invented like time travel? It's wild. Okay. So we could talk about Paige and her pathology. And you know what? All right. Let's start here, because like I said, it's normal and even healthy to pick a celebrity to kind of idolize a little bit, especially when you're young, when you're a teenager. Like, that really does have a natural gradual fade. like as you're an adult, you still have like celebs that you love and you kind of like rep and stand for, but it's not the same intensity because developmentally you have moved into your own personhood, right? And that celebrity crush ideally accomplished what it is supposed to accomplish, which is forging new pathways into new aspects of your character and personality. Like, you might not have, okay, you know what? Before I did this video, I was like, well, if I could be any celebrity, who would I be? Like, if I could be any other person, who would I be? And you know what's fucked up? Do you know who I thought of? My good guy fuckboy. We talked before about Hurt Lockers and the guys that we can't get over, and how it's not that just that we love them, we want to be them. We admire them. They have qualities that we love. And it was so brief, it was barely a fully formed thought when I was like, it's him. And I was like, oh, but like I saw it like streak by my consciousness, and I was like, I can't ignore that. I can't ignore that. And it just reinforces my hypothesis that, yeah, when we get really fixated on someone, a guy, it's because it's not the love, it's the admiration. So that's weird. But if I had to pick something that's more normal, I was like, well, I'd be probably Hailey Baldwin. You know, I love her. I love her. And if you guys ever like tell me on Instagram that I look like her, I'm like, I screenshot it and I like save it folder on my phone. I'm so pathetic. But like, she and I have the same hairstylist. And I was like, George, give me the Baldwin blonde. He's like, Shallon, we've talked about this. She has a much darker skin. I was like, Baldwin blonde. Give me the Baldwin blonde. And he does. And it probably isn't the right shade for me. I don't care. Give me the Baldwin bangs, the Baldwin blonde. But like, I like her. You know, when I break it down, like, of course she's beautiful and she's cute, but that's the thing. Like, she's very wholesome. She doesn't like party or do drugs. She doesn't swear. Like, she's a very good girl. We've talked a lot about her marriage to Justin Bieber. There's a lot to unpack there, but like, she's also a very religious person. And in the circles I run in New York City, like, that's not really cool. Like, it's not cool to go to... She's also a very religious person. And like, in the circles that I run in, that I've been in New York City for like, since I graduated, like, that's not really cool. And it's funny because you can be anyone you want in New York City. You can be goth, preppy, glamorous, blah, 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 hipster. And you can be all of these people like in the same week. But to be like a wholesome goody-goody is like that's kind of the weirdest thing of all. Like, when I tell people like, no, I'm staying home Saturday night, I'm going to church tomorrow, they're like, I'm sorry. I just hallucinated. I thought you said you were going to church. Aren't you going to burst into flames if you get near holy water? I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out. So I like that she's very upfront about that. And she's very like, this is what I'd like to do. You know, she's a good girl. And that's not, you know, it's weird. It's like most people, it's not acceptable for them to be bad. And like kind of in, you know, the society I'm in, it's kind of the opposite. It's interesting. So that's why I gravitate towards her. And just having that awareness, okay, that's what we need. We need the awareness. And we're like, all right, now I can just look at Hailey as like adorable and like she's so super cute, like her style, whatever. Love her poreless skin. Her poreless, half Brazilian, just beautiful, beautiful skin that will never wrinkle. Never. But I can identify that like, now I'm inspired to be a little more wholesome. I have her that's been sort of like a frontiersman for this thing that I admire. She has stepped into a plane and a frontier that I myself was afraid to tread. And so she's paved the way. And now I feel more comfortable walking that path because, hey, there's a supermodel who does it. That's cool for me too. You know, shadow self. I've talked a lot about before, like about shadow selves. And that's what we call it when we're trying to seduce someone. We have to hone in on that secret side of themselves that maybe they don't let people see. Maybe it's not appropriate for them to amplify in whatever situation they're in. We also obviously have a shadow self. And I've said mine is kind of that like I'm a secret softie. But then it flips. And if I'm being too soft, I was like, well, you need to know that I'll cut your throat with the spoon. Okay, you need to know that. but for the most part, it's like I said, like in my circles, like being that squishy, like, wholesome good girl is like kind of weird. Or that's my perception, right? Because when Hailey started coming out and she's like, you know, I'm a good girl. I don't do this. I go to church. It was surprising how many people followed along. And then Hillsong became really big. And like, yeah, she was kind of a bandwagoner on that church, but like there's been a much bigger movement with like religious celebrities. And I really think that she had something to do with that, right? And also people like Kourtney Kardashian and whatever. But it's funny when you step out and you're like, no, this is who I am. You'd be surprised how many people that resonates with. That's what leadership is. It's risk. It's risk in service of authenticity, right? So what does this have to do with the TikTok chick? Well, like I said, you know, a celebrity obsession is supposed to be a signpost on your overall road to enlightenment, consciousness, and authenticity. And if that's what you can use it for, great. But a lot of times, things go left, right? Or left, this way, left. Things go left. And we end up using celebrities as an emotional getaway car. Now, we talk a lot about emotional getaway cars here on this channel because typically, what do we use for those? Boys, 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 boys. A boy's gonna save me from my self-esteem issue. I just need to get married and then my life will have direction. I'm not worthy and valid until I've had sex and a boy likes me. Sound familiar? If you think you just magically outgrow that shit, you don't. I got news for you, it gets worse. Because society starts chiming in. Oh, you're 30, you don't have a husband? Ugh. And then it's not just in your head, it's actually out there, right? But we use other things as getaway cars. Drugs, alcohol, shopping, Instagram, all that shit. And celebrity obsessions is right up there. And it's interesting because with celebrity being so permeable, kind of as I call it, like there's no longer this fourth wall where celebrities are controlling the stories that come out about them. You know, in like the golden age of Hollywood, like they weren't getting papped like no makeup, without the girdle. If you got pregnant, you were like sent away. Like that was not a thing. Nope. No bump pictures. Disgusting. No. You could return to the spotlight once you had that child and it was out of sight, but like, no. And yet, so like we see the reality of what it means to be a celebrity, the downsides, the money troubles, the backlash. I mean, there's not a celebrity out there who hasn't put their foot in their mouth like, oh, did you call someone retarded? That's probably a bad idea. You know, and then you see the backlash, cancel culture, you know, losing sponsorships. You see the nip slips, you see the Spanx, you see the bad plastic surgery and the Photoshop. So ostensibly, we should idolize them less because they're less mythological. They're more real. But actually, we idolize them more. And I wonder if that realness makes us imprint harder on them. It's like, see, they're just like us. And because they're just like us, I have a shot at getting into that life too. Now she's attainable because something, right? So this chick, Paige, she is using Ariana as a getaway car from her life in a very big way, very big way. The question we all have to ask ourselves is getaway car from what? Now, I have no idea what's going on in Paige's life. I don't care. But I imagine that it's self-esteem issues. I mean, of course it's always a fucking self-esteem issue. But self-esteem is dressed up in a myriad of different things. Like, is it a self-esteem issue because her parents ignore her and so she feels like she's going to dress up as Ariana Grande to get attention in the macro because she's not getting it in the micro, in the family structure, which is where it like actually really matters? That's why a lot of people become famous. You hear all the time about people, it's like broken homes, they're poor, they have these toxic families. It's like, and they need this hive mind love. Cold-blooded animal. We talk about that here too. A warm-blooded animal is someone who regulates their own self-esteem. They don't need the likes, they don't need the TikTok views, they don't need the subs. They are okay as they are. You know? They generate that heat from within. Cold-blooded animal, someone like Paige, she's got to get it from the outside to such an extreme degree that she can't. It's not enough that maybe she would get attention for being Paige. No, because she finds that so unlikely, so inconceivable that just being regular schmegula degular Paige Neiman is going to get her enough praise, worth, and love to fill up whatever's hollow inside of her. She's got to step into Ariana Grande. She has made the calculation that she would rather be a bootleg somebody else than an original her. And a lot of us do that. A lot of us do that. Like we said, part of it is that frontiersman, because Ariana has forged this path. And this is what trendiness is, right? I was at the mall today, walking around, and I'm like, I can tell, looking at all these teenage girls, who idolizes Kendall Jenner. You know why? You're all wearing her fucking outfit. Like the high-waisted kind of baggy jeans with like ankle boots and a crop top. Let me tell you now, out of that population, how many girls have Kendall Jenner's body? That was 0. They looked terrible. They looked fucking terrible. And on some level, they knew it because their shoulders were rounded. They were like slithering around the mall. I was like, you look like a bad RC Cola version of this celebrity, when if you dressed for your body, which is fine, but it's not Kendall's, it has a pretty hard body to replicate. She's like a noodle. If you just dressed as you, if you were the best you could be, you would look so good. And ironically, you might be as attractive as Kendall. You're not going to be a replica, but you are going to be closer to her level of attractiveness than you are now. Because that's how being a bootleg works, right? It's not the same. It's different and not as good. And nothing is ever going to unseat the original. Nothing's ever going to unseat the original. Paige's only shot is to be like Ariana impersonator. That's the saddest fucking life I can imagine. How'd you spend your life? Pretending to be someone else? Wow. You really think that's why God put you on this earth? You really think that is the only dream God and the universe put in your heart? Is to just mine a bird and mimic somebody else, just to parrot back what someone else does? Literally, Ariana's monologues on that show. That's as much as you want for yourself. And you know what? The answer might be, yeah, that is all I think I'm capable of. That is all I think that I'm worth, because my parents told me that. My peers told me that. I just look around at my circumstances in this small town with my poor family or whatever it is, and I don't see it happening any other way. I don't really see me pulling out of these circumstances. So if I can sort of like hitch my wagon to a bigger, better celebrity wagon, maybe I got a shot. Maybe you fucking don't. Okay? I'm here to give you the wake-up call. This is not how you were meant to spend your life. Sitting home every night, obsessing over K-pop idols, dressing up like Ariana, forcing your poor hairstylist to give you Hailey Baldwin's color. We are better than this. We're better than this. So you gotta think, what is this an escape hatch from? What is this a getaway car from, right? Lean into that pain. And it is pain. It's pain. It's an ugly voice. It's a trauma. And this is how we get multiple personality disorders, because yeah, a lot of this is trauma-based. Something bad happened to you and you're like, nope, don't want to be in this life anymore. I'm going to step into a whole new personality. And I'm just going to step into one that's already been established and validated as positive. Ariana Grande's, Hailey Baldwin's, Kylie Jenner's. That works. Here is a recipe for success. I'm going to follow it. And that is guaranteed to get me the result I want, right? Same with trendiness. If I buy this outfit, the crop tops, always beige, like a beige bandeau crop top. Jesus Christ. Could it look worse against everyone's skin tone? No. Like high-waisted leggings and Dino Stomper Filas, which I have and I love. Like then I am going to be successful. I get that seal of approval, that societal social inclusion need met. And we know that social inclusion needs are one of our highest and strongest needs as humans. We're tribes. We're pack animals. You're not part of a tribe. You're not part of a pack. You die. You don't survive the fucking winter. This is hardwired into us, right? So do not underestimate the pull that has. And the fashion industry preys on that. The celebrity industry preys on that. I prey on that. Shallontrage, you're part of something, right? But it's not like I do it because like I need the pack too. Like I want the pack also. Like we all gotta be part of this pack. Come with me. So the way out of this is how? Lean into your pain, into what that getaway car is, and then also lean into what you admire about this person. Like we were talking about the Hurt Locker. I admire Hailey for her just unabashed authenticity. This is what I do. This is who I am. I was a homeschooled ballet Dorcas. I was like, good for you. You know, that's great. Kylie Jenner, on the other hand, does not speak of who she used to be, does not speak of her, no photos, nothing. She has left that person completely behind for better and worse. Like, and it sucks. Like, she was a really like quirky, funny, interesting person. I don't see any of that now. I mean, I'm sure she is like behind the scenes, but publicly, she has decided that who that was, Kylie 1.0, is dead. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That's a self-worth issue. You can put whatever you want to in your face and your body. That doesn't change what's happening on the inside. You can mow the grass and paint the house. Doesn't change the furniture, right? So lean into what you admire and take that and use that to springboard yourself into a new level. Here's another way. You got to change the reality of your life, right? You just have to. You don't like being in a small town? You don't like being with your toxic family? Fucking change it. Change it. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Today is the day you acknowledge it. This is a changing day in your life. If you want it to be, if you accept it to be, this is the day you change. And yeah, it's scary. All change is scary. There is nothing in this world that is worth doing that isn't scary. From learning to walk, to learning to drive, learn how to have sex, going to college, buying a house, having a baby. These are all terrifying things. But when it's terrifying, you know you're on the right track, because that is growth. And there's a reason it's called growing pains. It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's scary, you don't know where it's going. How long am I going to grow? Is this Jack and the Beanstalk? But it's progress. So you do this by setting a goal. Set your goal for yourself. What do you admire about Ariana? What do you admire about Shawn Mendes? How can you use that to set a goal in your life? That goal is in here. It's rattling around in there. And no, baby girl, the goal is not be famous. No. Because what fame means is validation, social inclusion, and self-worth, right? Fame is not going to actually give you that. It's a very broken industry. And if you think there's no downside to fame, buckle the fuck up. I'm about to do a video on it and my own experience being an influencer for a year. Been a rough landing. But think about how you can create those things in your life without the fame in a positive, healthy way. Probably focus on your career. I talk about this in every video. Career. Financial independence is the only independence. You don't have that, you don't have jack shit, right? You don't have anything. That is the foundation of your entire life. That needs to be your focus. Once you set a goal, financial independence and then self-actualization, which is, I am now doing what I feel like I was put on this earth to do. Whether it's make YouTube videos, be a makeup artist, help other people, travel the world, cure cancer, whatever. Then you can start making a plan, right? And then your circumstances are no longer a setback, they're a setup, because you're using them to get where you want to go. You're not trapped here in this small town with a bad family. This is your temporary home. This is a stopping point along your journey. This isn't the destination, right? And you do that by setting the goals and making a viable plan. And no, it might not happen tomorrow that you get accepted into medical school, but it will happen if you break it down into manageable pieces. Big moves consist of small moves, right? Big change consists of small change. If you wanted to lose 50 pounds, you're not gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go to the gym once and then I assume everything will be fine. You're gonna be like, I gotta change my eating. I gotta change my social habits. I gotta change my routine. It feels overwhelming. It feels scary, right? But that's when you know you're on the right track. And you break it down smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, I need to go to the gym. Okay, I'm just gonna start by just walking into the gym. Every day for the next 3 days, I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna look at all the machines, and I'm gonna have my clothes on. I'm gonna get familiar so that I feel more comfortable there. And then on day 4, I'm gonna get on the treadmill and I'm gonna walk for a half hour. You boop, 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 boop. You build up. And then these small changes start to add up. Then you've got a big change. And doing this goal chasing and this goal setting is creating that self-worth. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to look at that celebrity you idolize and you're not going to feel this distant mythological idolization. You're going to feel reciprocity. You're going to feel kinship. You're going to look at them and be like, samesies, sister. Because you're going to look at their hard work and be like, I'm doing the same work in my life. Maybe on a different path, maybe trying to go to a different place, but hey, work is work, game recognizes game. Because what is every single celebrity? They're an expert and they're a hard worker, right? That's what you can do. You can become that celebrity in your own life. You can take That's celebrity tenacity, expertise, riskiness, vulnerability, and authenticity. And you take that into your own life and you become the A-lister. You don't need anybody else. Right? Let me know. I'm very curious who you guys idolize. Like, I want to know, like, and be honest. Be honest. I mean, I love J-Lo. God, I fucking love J-Lo. Yeah. Love Michelle Obama. Yeah. But I love J-Lo's, like, tenacity in the gym. I love Michelle Obama's just poise and grace and going high when others go low. I do the opposite. When they go high, I go low. Hit below the belt. But like I said, follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO and weigh in there. Also, please consider donating to the GoFundMe for the homeless mama of 3. We are going to change her life, right? We can be the changing day in her life. You just had a changing day today here on this video. Now it's time to pay it forward and to help somebody else. And we can do it. We're going to band together and we're going to do it. So tune in tomorrow for more Vlogmas. I'm giving you 30 days of content, 31, sorry, trying to, for Christmas. So tell me more of something you want to see and I will get it right up. All right, Shalloners, I'll talk to you later.